Welcome to the Fret Frontier. Look, Mom, no frets. Today we're taking a look at percussion instruments, the djembe in particular, which is a lovely African percussion instrument, which I was interested in, so I got myself a compact djembe to start out with about a month ago, never having played any percussion before, and this is an 8-inch head. I'll show you some things about it in a moment. We're going to compare this to, this one is the Meinl company, and they have their logo on the top here, and then in the front on the body of the instrument. And then we have the Toca company represented here. This is a 10-inch, and you can see the size difference is pretty substantial. I'll put the specs up for each of these instruments for you to take a look at.
So with the smaller one, you'll see sometimes it's called 7 inches, sometimes it's called 8 inches, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But it came as ordered in the color that I selected. The second one I ordered from a sheet where the specs looked like this color, but the color they sent was this one, and I think it's like a million times more beautiful.
So let's start off with the 8-inch djembe. Both of these are all synthetic materials. So you'll see inside here, this isn't wood. It's like a it's a polycarbon resin type material. Both of them have a rubberized bottom here to protect the instrument if you should put it down. And then they're wrapped with some texturized vinyl to give it this coloring, so it's not actually painted into the actual material. Inside you'll just see some black plastic. The top of both of these are synthetic. On this one, it goes that extra mile there to try to look like goat skin material. It has this suede top feel and appearance. So the head is held on by ropes that wrap around and are tied. It has this little handle on it. Did not come with a case. So the way the head is measured on this, you actually have 7 inches of hand space. So if I measure this across here in inches, I've got 7 inches rim to rim of playable area. If I go end to end where the rope tie happens, then I get the full 8 inches. But in terms of my playable area, I have 7 inches. And it does feel a little small for my hand. So there are 3 different sounds we're supposed to be able to make on this instrument, and that would be the bass, the tone, and the slap. Okay, and they're a little easier to perform and to hear on the 10-inch. So let's flip over to that. The 10-inch is by the Toca company, and you'll see their logo on the head. And it is also riveted as a little metal logo on the side here. And let me tell you a little bit about how this one is measured. We'll go across here. And we have actually on this one 10 inches of playing space. So if we go all the way out to the little rim that clips it on the top, it's not really too much more. So this little rim, the way that this is attached, is not as elaborate. But the heads are supposedly replaceable, so when it gets old, if you are finding that it's damaged, supposedly you can just order another head for it. Once again, we have a plastic body and rubberized bottom with this texturized vinyl wraparound to give it the colors. There is a little clip here. If you want to clip it onto a strap so you can stand while you're playing. It does come with the strap. I'll show you that. Exciting stuff here. So it has a great hook here to hook on. But what I found the difficulty with this was there's not a way to clip and unclip it. You actually have to step into it so it doesn't go on like a belt. And at its tightest capacity, it was still too long for me, so I couldn't use it to stand. And I also couldn't use it as a support to sit because it's so long. The drum was like out of my reach if I used it, but it came with this great case. Here's the case it came with. It's not, a big heavily padded case. You could feel the most padding on the top here, which will protect the head. So the instrument goes in upside down. You take the instrument and put it in head first into this case, and then flip it upside down. And then we pull tight on this little strap here. This is like the cinch that's on your coats and things like that. And there we are. This strap is not adjustable. And then we have this little smaller part here we could use as a handle. So it was great to get a case with this. So for the smaller djembe, that 8-inch one, I had to find a case online to buy. I got this on Amazon. It was very difficult to find anything that was for 8-inch. Now these are like the more traditional case. The djembe goes in at the top, and then you zip it up. The zipper comes from both sides if you wanted to. You could go all the way around. And then on this one, you have sort of like a backpack opportunity. The straps are adjustable. I don't know if you can see that black against the black there, so hold it up towards the wall. And then an area to grab it and hold it by the handle. And I'll put links to this item that I found. Again, there's no padding in it at all, but it was very reasonably priced.
Do 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 do.
So just as a quick review, I'll do the 3 tones I'm supposed to be able to get out of this instrument on the 8-inch, and then I'll show you those same sounds on the 10-inch before I start the sound sample on that. So here's our bass, here's our tone, here's our slap. And the bass, your hand is supposed to pop back off or bounce off the top of the instrument when you're doing that bass. On the 8-inch, you do that pop back or that recoil yourself. The top is not actually helping your hand or giving it a push to go back. So you do that on your own. Let's compare that to the 10-inch. So on our 10-inch, let's just go through our sounds. We've got the bass, and I'm getting a feeling of being pushed back up. Then I have my tone, then I have my slap. Okay, now we'll do a basic 4/4 rhythm, starting on the 10-inch and then switching over to the 8-inch. 2, 3, 4. Kind of like them both for different reasons, so it'd be hard to give either one up. I enjoy them both, but the way that I'm practicing with them is I start all the rhythms out on this 10-inch because it's easier for me to find the sounds, and it's also more comfortable to play. I don't feel I'm hitting the rim all the time, so one of the reasons I got a 10-inch before I felt I could really play very well is when I was doing this bass, sometimes I was overshooting and I started to get a lot of soreness on this joint here on my 3rd finger from smacking the rim, and that doesn't happen on the 10-inch. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try out a modern rhythm on the 2 of them, simple rock rhythms. Okay, so that's it on our compare. We got the 8-inch, we got the 10-inch. They're both synthetic materials, and there's about $25 difference between the 2 of them. I got both of them from Musician's Friend. Again, this one comes with a bag and a strap. The strap I didn't find too useful. The bag I think is really cool. This one I had to find a bag that would fit an 8-inch. Doesn't have any padding in it, but it works great for transporting it back and forth. So I hope you enjoyed hearing these as much as I enjoyed playing them. And if you're like me, a beginning percussionist that wants to explore the lovely and relaxing world of the djembe drum, these are two inexpensive options that I thought sounded pretty good and look pretty cool. I especially love the colors on this one. I'll give you the link to it, and they don't show this particular color option. This is the one again they sent me. This one comes in a ton of different color options. I liked it so much I got one for a friend in a different color, so they're definitely a delight to play, and it's a wonderful thing to explore. Thanks so much for joining me and listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm getting ready to do the sound samples. Gotta get everything back out of the case. I'm getting ready to do the sound samples, 'cause everything is now back in the case. Here we go. Oops. Beautiful.